Well, this is it, the last show of the semester. Next week is finals and then the countdown to Christmas. I know you're going to miss my beautiful face for the next month, and trust me, the only thing I want for Christmas is more SportsLine. Hello, I'm Megan Cooney.
And I'm Charlie Hugg. The days are getting shorter, the air is getting colder, and my hair is longer than it ever needs to be. Must mean we're at the end of the semester. But before we can go back home and ring in the holiday season with our loved ones, we have one more week of action that we can all be thankful for. You're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explore Athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome to SportsLine. It's all about basketball this week. We got your Big 5 Classic coverage as well as all the other games you may have missed this past week.
We also got a chance to go inside the media room with SportsLine reporter John Freeman to talk with Khalil Brantley and Coach Dunphy about the Big 5 Classic on Saturday.
But first, let's take a look at our SportsLine top 3.
Number 1, the LaSalle men's basketball team finished in 3rd place in the first annual Big 5 tournament this past weekend. They beat Penn 93-92 in the 3rd place game to make the podium along with Temple and St. Joe's.
Number 2, LaSalle University ranked in the top 15% among all NCAA Division I athletic programs in graduation success rate, tying for 40th overall. 9 teams, including men's and women's basketball, men's and women's golf, women's rowing, women's soccer, women's swimming and diving, women's cross country, and field hockey, all received scores of 100 in the NCAA's national report.
And number 3, Khalil Brantley was named this week's NovaCare Student Athlete of the Week this week. Brantley hit a game-winning buzzer beater from half court to earn LaSalle a 3rd place spot in the Big 5 tournament over Penn. All right, so Big 5 Classic, really enjoyed it, and I don't know, it was a great game against Penn, so yeah,
really
we'll talk about
there.
that a lot more later because, I mean, that was one of the biggest games we've seen in a while. So.
Definitely. And that just about wraps it up for the top 3. Now let's see how our teams did in this week's recaps. Men's basketball competed in the Big 5 Classic over the weekend. The Explorers took on the UPenn Quakers. Khalil Brantley led the team with 26 points, and Deshaun Shepard was a close second, putting 19 points up for the Explorers. Both teams played an outstanding game offensively, keeping up with each other the entirety of the game. LaSalle trailed the Quakers by 8 points with 4 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the game. A dunk from Shepard and a three-pointer from Tunde Valberg-Fasasi cut the margin to 3. UPenn was able to score 3 more points, increasing the deficit. However, LaSalle went on a 6-0 run and forced an overtime with a score of 82-82. The teams went head-for-head the entirety of the overtime, and just as it looked dim for LaSalle, a long three-pointer buzzer beater from Khalil Brantley sent the Explorers over, winning the game 93-92.
Today's practice with junior guard Khalil Brantley right after hitting the buzzer beater at the Big 5 Classic against Penn. Khalil, talk us through about, how Coach Dunphy was keeping you humble today in practice, after hitting such a shot and, just coming through so big for your team.
Honestly, everybody, lives it up. It was our first day back, in school. Everybody congratulating me, but it's on to the next. It's been 48 hours since we played that game, so it's over with in a way. We on to the next, so I'm only as good as the last time I played, so that was the last time everybody got to see me play. But we also play Wednesday, so my mind is focused on Wednesday. I'm kind of not even worried about the shot no more.
Khalil, I was on the court. You saw me. I was filming. Khalil, walk me through what was going through your mind, when you got the inbound play from your forward. I don't know who the forward was, but you got the inbound play, and immediately you knew that you wanted to go for that shot. Walk me through your mindset and just your mentality, taking that ball off the inbound.
So I know after Bull went in the basket, after Slatcher, he made a good play and went in the basket. I knew I looked up at the other shot clock on the other side. It was like 5 to 6 seconds left, going more closer to 4. And then I passed it to Tunde, and then he threw it right back. And then I just knew that I had to get a shot up. And like I said in other interviews, I felt like I owed the team because I did give up, the basket before. And also I feel like I let us down. What was that? Wednesday at Temple. So I feel like I owed the team.
Mentioning the Temple game, Khalil, what do you think went wrong during the Temple game? I mean, it was probably the best game we've seen this team play this season, aside from the Penn game. What do you think went wrong during the Temple game, and what did Coach Dunphy tell you and your side to improve for that Penn game where you hit the buzzer beater?
I feel what went wrong in the Temple game is I missed the game. The game-winning free throws to, excel us so we wouldn't have to go into another overtime period. But, a couple of missed tags or box outs here and there can change a game. So, but if you want to blame somebody for that Temple game, you could blame me. And then what was your other one? What was the next question?
Oh, just talking about, the upcoming game. So now you're going to go ahead and play Loyola. You have some upcoming games, obviously, and then you'll play St. Joseph's very soon. Obviously, the game's in February, but you're preparing for that now. Coach Dunphy talked about how a lot of your games this year will be very close, right? What do you have to do to execute in those games and eventually win them? Because that's obviously the result you want.
Right. Getting prepared, starting with the first question, getting prepared for this next game. We're going to prepare for this next game like it's anybody we're playing, no matter who they are or what they are. So that answers that question. And then for, just getting better as the season going on, at the end of practice, we do late game situations to put us in situational things because it is – like with the team we have, there are going to be a lot of games where it's going to be decided by 1 to 2 points, and it's going to come down to the last minute or 2 minutes. Like you seen in the Temple and Penn game, we was down 6, 7, 8 points with 2 minutes left to go in the game, and somehow, some way, we found a way to pull through and be victorious in one of them and almost come through with a win in the other one.
Awesome. Very last question, Khalil. I'm going to surprise you. I know I didn't tell you this, but what people don't know about you is you're a business owner, right? You have your own clothing brand, really into fashion, ISOFamK, publicity is all over you right now. What's the way you want to promote that, and what is ISOFamK all about? How did you start it and all that type of stuff?
Okay. The ISOFam movement, it kind of came from, playing outside in the park basketball. Then it moved to, my lifestyle, move your own way, choose your own path. Don't let nobody kind of, alter you or try to take you off the path. And then with the clothing brand, that's just a plus. So, on Instagram, my social medias is ISOFamK, and then on Twitter it's Khalil Brantley. But on Instagram, you could click the link in my bio, and then you could get a lot of your merch. A couple of LaSalle students already, purchased the merch and had it on at the game Saturday.
So that's all from Khalil Brantley. Khalil, one thing, is there anything you have to say for Explorers fans who are looking to attend the next home game or just looking to support you for the rest of the season, you and your team? Anything you have to tell them, anything they should expect?
Okay, thank you for all the support that, everybody has been wishing me as well as the team around campus. We appreciate it. We need y'all at the games. As much support as we could get is going to, only push us over the edge. Like, y'all don't know how much, having that sixth fan in the stands is, that sixth player as a fan in the stands is so, tremendous to our team. So we need y'all. Like I said, I appreciate the support. We appreciate y'all support, and go Explorers.
Coming from junior guard Khalil Brantley. Khalil, thank you so much for your time.
It was then time to take on Loyola, Maryland last night at home. Anwar Gill started off the game with 4 consecutive buckets. After that, it was difficult for the Explorers offensively. The Explorers shot 2 for 13 from three-point range in the first 20 minutes. By halftime, LaSalle trailed 29-27. The Explorers started to come back in the second with 2 threes from Andres Marrero. This led the Explorers to a 38-31. Loyola answered back strong, putting them up by double figures at 60-49. With just 5 minutes to go, LaSalle fought hard to come back. A three-pointer by Jameer Brickus ignited one last surge. Marrero got another 3 to bring LaSalle to 60-57. With under a minute left and Loyola up by 2, Brickus found Marrero on the right wing for his 6th and final three-pointer. This put LaSalle back on top. With seconds left in the game, Loyola had a few chances to make it back but were unsuccessful. This was the Explorers' second straight win with a final score of 62-61.
Opening statement, Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just a very fortunate win for us. We were in big trouble for a while there. We were down 11, I think, 4 something ago. And Andres Marrero bailed us out with some great shots. And thought our defense turned up pretty good. Our pressure at the end was pretty good, and got ourselves a couple of extra shots in the basket. So, very fortunate to win the game.
Coach Dunphy, 4 minutes and 24 seconds left late in that second half. Your team's down 52-60. What are you telling them, at that point, after they've made some, silly errors in the beginning?
Yeah, just keep plugging away. We we fight till the end. I think there's a resiliency about the group. I'm hoping that's our signature. And, just got lucky, really. But you're telling these guys to keep plugging away. You never know what can happen here. We made a couple threes. Again, Andreas Moreira saved us, but we made some pretty good defensive plays as well. Love to see exactly how that whole last minute or so unfolded on film, and we'll watch that as we go back into the office tonight. So, but just a very fortunate win for us.
Coach, we've also talked stats in this press room. We've talked about steals, we talked about rebounds, we talked about turnovers, turnover percentage. It seems like every team who's going to be successful in any league, they have stats, or a specific stat that they have to focus on and they have to excel in order to have a successful season. For your team specifically, basketball's in full swing, season's in full swing. What's the stat you've identified for this team for them to do well in their upcoming games in A10 competition?
Yeah, I think on the defensive side, you have to be really solid in the scoring area. I guess our numbers in the first half were good. Let me just see what they did in the second half. They were 12 for 30, so they were right at 40%. But we held them to 38% shooting. If you can do that every game, then I think your team's going to be in pretty good shape. The other part on the offensive end is, we got to take care of the ball more. We turned it over 10 times in the first half. So accordingly, we only turned it twice in the second half, and that has certainly helped our comeback. But we got to take better care of the ball. In the first half, we were in big trouble there as well. But those two stats, taking care of the ball, getting good shots each and every time down, making your offense efficient, and on the defensive end, we just got to get to shooters sooner, better. Let's see what the offensive, they had 12 offensive rebounds. That's not good enough, but that's another way that we have to be better, keeping people off the glass.
Big shot planned for Andres Moreira. Was it like a set play, that you guys had planned for him, or was it just, on the fly? Or
yeah, the last one was on the fly. I mean, we got that loose ball and pushed it up. I'd love to see the film and answer that question perfectly for you. But somehow Dre wound up with the ball, and he's got supreme confidence in his shooting ability. He knocked that out. Just an amazing shot, to be honest with you. And but we do run some stuff for him. But he's a guy that is pointed for the opposition. They don't want to let him get too many looks, and he's got to continue to work as hard as anybody does to get shots. He's not the fastest or the quickest or anything else, so he's got to work 10 times harder than everybody else to get shots. Making them is one thing, getting them is quite another.
Coach, what do you think of your backcourt tonight? Obviously, you got Brantley, you got Burkus, and then Gil initiating plays as well. What do you think of their performance tonight and how it contributes to the win, if any, at all?
Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, we need more points from them. I didn't think Burkus was as pointed toward scoring as we want him to be. He's got to do a better job of that. He oftentimes will just defer because he's not a guy that has to score in his mind for us to win. He wants to do all the other things, but we need him to score. We need Brantley to score as well. So it wasn't their best game. I don't know that it was our best game. I would give a lot of that credit to Loyola. They came in here and wanted to win the game. I thought they did just about everything they could to win it. I will tell you that I was worried because we're coming off just 2 emotional games that we had played. So you're worried about that. I'm worried about Saturday. They came in last year, Lafayette came in here and kicked our butt, and we got to be ready to go on Saturday.
Coach, last question for me. So you mentioned Lafayette, and you mentioned that, they kind of gave you a run for your money last year. You also mentioned in practice that specifically to this team that all the games will be close, and not because they're not talented or they're not a bad team, but just all the games will be close. Competition is just going to be like that this year. What would be the mentality going into Lafayette, considering you just have a close game just now and it's a big win?
Yeah, the mentality is the same. They came in here last year and we were not ready to go, and I'll own that. And we need to be prepared to play Lafayette. They know what they're doing. They know how to play us, and they run really good offense. So we'll have our hands full on Saturday. We just need to be ready.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so a lot going on in men's basketball this week.
Yeah. Probably the best men's basketball week I've seen since I've been here, and probably that we've seen as a school in a long time.
I feel like the men's basketball team in general this season has just been doing exceptionally well. They've really come out of the gate here. And the Big Five Classic was like no exception. You're going up against UPenn. It definitely wasn't one of the tougher teams. Obviously, Villanova was there, Temple was there. But we kind of gave them a run for their money. And they are a very good team offensively. And so it was a really interesting game to be at, being there in the Wells Fargo Center with all of kind of the hype surrounding it. It was a really cool game. And when Brantley hit that buzzer beater, it was insane.
Yeah, so. I'm mad I wasn't able to be there, but I definitely saw it. I think everybody around campus saw it because it was posted everywhere. ESPN's top play.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And then again, Andres Moreira doing the same thing the other night. He had a game-winning three. I guess, yeah, it was last night. It's just they find a way to win. They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, they're doing amazing. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we have more of this week's recaps. Stay tuned.
As birthplace to the first volunteer fire companies, Philadelphia is home to one of the nation's premier fire museums. Fireman's Hall Museum displays the city's fire history in addition to promoting fire safety. You can visit Fireman's Hall Museum in Old City at 147 North 2nd Street. Visit firemanshallmuseum.org to learn more, or watch the museum's show, Curator's Corner, on LaSalle TV.
Welcome back. Let's see how the women did in this week's recaps. Women's basketball took on Virginia on Sunday at home. Molly Massantonio started off the game strong for the Explorers with a long three-point shot, but the Cavaliers came to play and kept it close for the rest of the half. At the start of the second, Tiara Bolden would get the Explorers within 5 points after back-to-back offensive possessions and a couple of three-pointers. Michaela Miller helped keep the momentum alive as well, landing 15 points of her own throughout the game. But it wasn't enough, and the Explorers would fall 73-94. It was then time to head to Rutgers on Tuesday night. The Scarlet Knights came out swinging, going on a 7-0 run. Jolene Armendaris and Haley Childs got the Explorers started offensively and managed to get them within 3 points of the Knights. A Tiara Bolden three-pointer and a fast break three from Gabby Turco would give the Explorers a 15-14 lead. Rutgers would go on another 7-0 run, however, and ended the first quarter up 21-15. The Scarlet Knights kept control in the second quarter with a handful of three-point conversions by Armendaris and Nicole Melius, were able to tighten the deficit, with the score being 47-36 in favor of Rutgers heading into the half. They continued the momentum for the rest of the second half, and unfortunately, there was no comeback for the Explorers, and they lost 67-98.
Coach, obviously the absence of Emily Tejada is crucial for your team. You have Amber in there stepping up as a freshman. What did you tell Amber, knowing that she'd be playing some big minutes for your team coming up?
I don't think I said anything real specific to her, right? We're just trying to maintain what we're doing every day, right? So every day she's out there and trying to prepare herself to get better and better. And, she knows her role is to protect the basket and to rebound the basketball and to be a receiver for her teammates as we make plays. I think she did the third part the best tonight, but she still, has a lot of room to grow in protecting the basket and rebounding in there. But that's the nature of being a freshman. And it's the nature of, having a lot of an experience on the roster that we're growing every night. But I like where they are in that process.
Tiara Bolden, 14 points today, her best game so far at LaSalle. What do you see for her going forward with more people coming back from injury?
I don't think the injury, the roster size is affecting her either way. Teague can play. She's a really good on-ball defender. She's a really good rebounder. She can score at two levels for sure. I think there's a mid-range game in there as well. So the kid's a good player. It's just a matter of you guys getting to see what we get to see every day in practice. And you got to see tonight. And it could have been a better night for her tonight. She knows that. So I don't think this is a night that she's going to be like, oh, I was really good tonight. I think this is just another learning opportunity.
Obviously, you've had some big games of late. Tiara has broken out a little bit. What's this like to see? I guess you had about 6 or 7 girls that can kind of go off on a given night. As you start to learn more about this team, what have you liked about kind of that kind of depth, I guess?
I just like the fact that everybody goes out there and they're confident in themselves and in their games, and that we're all starting to come together. This is kind of a younger team, but I feel like we're starting to get our groove and get into a nice groove, and just staying confident and having confidence in yourself and your ability to score and believing in your teammates is really big. And that's what we saw from TR tonight. I'm always talking to her about just staying confident in yourself. Your time will come. Just go out there and play your game. So we're happy with the productivity for sure.
Coach, last question. We
Yeah.
mentioned, turnover stats, like we mentioned points, steals, assists. Is there any specific stat for this team that is crucial for them to do well, in A10 competition coming up? For every team, there may be a stat, for some teams it may be points or steals that they really have to excel in. Is there any specific stat for this team that they have to excel in order to do well in an upcoming conference competition?
Well, we need to make sure that our turnover percentage is low. 20 is too high tonight because we know that there were probably at least 7 of them that Virginia didn't have anything to do with, and that we made those mistakes. 13 turnovers in a game like tonight would have been fantastic because of the amount of possessions that there were tonight. So the percentage of turnovers is a really big one for us, and the rebounding margin. If we can mitigate the rebounding margin night in, night out, and have it be competitive, and we keep our turnovers down, we have enough explosive firepower, and we put enough pressure on our opponents that we're going to be in good shape.
Speaking kind of on that, 25 free throws attempted by Virginia tonight. What can you try to do to reduce the amount of fouls that's held in the community?
Not play Virginia. I mean, we are not excessively foul prone. We were not our best positionally tonight. We could have been better. But Virginia goes to the basket hard. They got kids who can make plays, and you get in foul trouble when that happens. There's probably 15 possessions we could have been better, and there wouldn't have been a foul on. But it's still, going to be other plays for them. That's what they do. And us getting, 13 free throw attempts is about par for the course. So that wasn't like that was dramatically low for us. We don't draw a ton of fouls.
Good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
So women's basketball experiencing a couple tough losses this past week. It's kind of the opposite of what we've been dealing with men's.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough patch. And I think you can tell they lost a lot of big seniors last year. They had a really good team last year, very successful season. I think they're just trying to find their way and get these new players involved. You see a lot of freshmen making impact, and I think that's just something that you have to grow and learn your role in the team. And you can see that happening. Virginia, it's going to be a tough game regardless. A couple games that they would want back, but I think they'll be able to figure it out. It's a lot of players need to start finding their spot.
Yeah, definitely. I know they've had a couple injuries with Emily Tejada and Aris McToon, so hopefully they can get back on the court soon and they can get their groove back. We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we have all of this week's upcoming games. Stay tuned.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems.
Welcome back. We've got another week of LaSalle sports coming up, so here's what you have to look forward to for the next 2 weeks. Men's basketball will travel to Easton, PA to take on Lafayette on Saturday, December 9th, before taking on the University of Miami on Saturday, December 16th. They will then return to Tom Gola on Thursday, December 21st to face Rosemont College.
Women's basketball will travel on Thursday, December 7th to go up against Lehigh. They will then return home to play crosstown rival Temple on Sunday, December 17th. For the following week, they will play at home against Villanova on Thursday, December 21st. And swimming and diving, the women's team will go up against the University of Rhode Island on Saturday, December 9th.
Since this is the last episode before winter break, these are the games to look out for over the next month. Men's basketball will take on Howard, George Mason, Fordham, UMass, and VCU. Women's basketball will take on George Mason, Davidson College, Fordham, St. Bonaventure, Bonaventure, and UMass. And swimming and diving will take on the University of Richmond.
All right, a lot of games coming up, and we have another sport back. We're not just doing a lot of basketball.
I know. It's always good to see swimming and diving getting thrown in the mix. And yeah, over the next month we have a lot of action, so it should be exciting.
And so before we go on our winter break, I wanted to recap my favorite moments of Charlie Cam this year. So let's roll it.
Come on, boys. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Go ahead. Go, bro, score. That's a highlight dude for that.
Oh, that'll be on the video. I'll try this out. Something like this.
Yeah, so let's put the ball a little bit closer to your chin. So, and then, like, use your thumbs, like right here, to measure.
On the...
Yeah, right here. And then when your thumbs are measured, you're going to grip it like this.
Okay.
Yep. And then you have in the try pull up all at once. Just like that. What you can do is that when you pull it up, like try like push your chest out.
Pull my chest out?
Yeah. Just like you feel it, so that it feels like you like locked out the point.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that.
Alright, not bad.
Do my Lord and Savior this match. And easy, easy.
I got it.
There you go.
On in. I want to get in there.
That just about wraps it up for this week. If you can't make it out to see the Explorers play, be sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by visiting goexplorers.com.
Also, check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV and on Instagram at SportsLine LTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions there.
For our entire SportsLine team, I'm Megan Cooney.
And I'm Charlie Hugg. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you at the game.